Don't be trying to use your skin color. When somebody said that you're ugly, it's not because you're skin color. It's because you're ugly. Don't put that on your skin color. There's too many bad brown bitches, and that done lots. Okay.
Back in 2022, Cardi B walked away with a $4 million civil lawsuit win against Tasha K. That beef goes all the way back to 2019, when Tasha K was out here saying things that weren't true, spreading reckless and harmful rumors, including unproven claims about Cardi's personal life. All of that led to the lawsuit. Cardi won, and then Tasha K later filed for bankruptcy. But let's be clear, the judge still held her accountable and ordered her to pay Cardi B through a structured payment plan totaling millions over several years. Since then, Tasha K has been saying Cardi B was trying to silence her or sabotage her career. Okay, she even went as far as calling some of Cardi B's legal moves unfair. What? Now here's where it gets wild. Tasha K started making new claims online. She was basically hinting that Cardi B could somehow be involved in witness intimidation connected to allegations surrounding Cardi B's boyfriend, Stefan Diggs. Even though Tasha didn't directly name Cardi B, the implication was loud enough to pull Cardi straight into the speculation. And what happened after that was Cardi B going off in an all-out assault on Twitter Spaces.
Don't be trying to use your skin color. When somebody said that you're ugly, not because you're skin color, it's because you're ugly. Don't put that on your skin color. There's too many bad brown bitches, and that done lots. Okay. So don't even put that. Don't stop with that race baiting. Because one thing for sure, two things for certain. There's a lot of. You have caused so much damage to the black community. The way that you trash talk so much legends, the way that you make up lies about a lot of about black celebrities. I never see you harass not one white person. All you ever do is talk shit. You even said that Portia was ugly. You dumb. That's one of the baddest. So don't ever say that because you're insecure and people call you ugly. Don't put that on your skin color. You're just an ugly. And I didn't say nothing about your nose. You just ugly. Second, you out here talking about original face. My original face, the face that I had, the face that I have now, the face that I had in 2015, the face that I had in 2010, the any face that I ever had, you ain't with it. You ain't with it, bitch. Let me tell you something about you. Let me tell you something about you. Tell you something about me, and let me tell you something about. Let me tell you something, right? When you a dancer, you know what you gotta look like? You gotta look good. You gotta be a bad. That's why I was making thousands of dollars every single night. Not sucking. I ain't had to show no. I strip in New York. In New York, you can show no. You can't be. So you're gonna fire. You can't even leave the club when you're gonna get fired. Nick, like that how I look. I was a pretty petite, nice stomach, nice ass, pretty little young. Let me tell you something. One thing about it, you can never make money off your looks. You couldn't even strip even if you wanted to. You've always been chopped cheese. Always been a sherm. And you can never rely on how you look. You can never rely on how you look. Money, no nothing. You all look like little Boosie. Actually, little Boosie look better than you, bitch. So stop it. You know the difference between me and you, that's what you hate. When all things fail, I can rely on my looks. When all things fails, I can rely on it taking care of me. I'm a bad. You never been that. You gotta be the provider in your relationship. You know what else you mad at me? Because you know what else you mad at me about? You mad because I have a mom and dad to fall back on. That's why you always gotta bring up niggas come and go. But you know what's something that you don't have? If you're nigga, you don't got no family to go to. Family hates you. And that's a fact. I don't go talking about your spaces, bitch. You know how much your mama had to hate you that she was letting your go touch on you, bitch? Your mama was on drugs, letting it touch you. You such a hateful, you such a hateful, disgraceful bitch that you was even putting your stepsister on. Bitch, don't do that shit. I don't a stepsister. I don't give a. I don't. If you ever live with somebody, you don't come on social media and try to make them.
Now look, it was a long moment, but I actually want to sit on this for a second. One of the accusations Cardi B has faced over the years is being anti-black, specifically not respecting black women. And to be fair, both her and Nicki Minaj have had that label thrown on them, with people calling them colorist and all of that, okay? But Cardi B addressed this directly in the ruling, basically saying, listen, nobody has shown more anti-black behavior than Tasha K. And I want to pause right there and say something about Tasha K, because whether people like it or not, she is far more talented than most people in celebrity media, myself included. And I say that for a reason, because I react to the algorithm. Tasha K is the algorithm. Tasha K breaks stories. Some of those stories end up being true. Some of them absolutely do not. So when Tasha K drops something into the algorithm, it creates a ripple effect that forces everybody to react. That's what Tasha K does. Academics operates the same way in hip-hop. These are people inside the industry who set the news cycle. They are insiders, period. They have relationships with celebrities. They have relationships with people working behind the scenes. They get a ton of tea, a ton of information, and they have direct pipelines that allow them to move the way they do. But you can also say, without hesitation, that Tasha K has put information out there that should not be treated as fact. And personally, I have never once heard Tasha K come back and say this was wrong and I apologize. This is where things start to feel wrong to me. And then on top of that, so much of this energy always seems to be aimed at black celebrities. There's also this ongoing fixation on what Cardi B looks like, her face, her body, the changes she's made. Cardi even brought up Tasha K having to financially support her husband as the main breadwinner and all of that. For me personally, that stuff is careless and unnecessary. But the real issue I want to focus on is Tasha K, and this idea that she's somehow the victim here, like everything being done to her is unfair. I've personally watched Tasha K put the fear of God into content creators. I'm going to share a real story with y'all right now. Kevin Samuels called me before he ever went on Tasha K's platform. And I'm not saying Kevin was panicking in the way people might assume, but here's what I can tell you for a fact. Right before Kevin went on Tasha K, she had completely dismantled Derrick Jackson's career. That was hands down one of the biggest public falls from grace I've ever seen. And I've been in this space for over 10 years. Derrick Jackson was offered an interview with Tasha K and turned it down. The moment he declined, she dismantled him again. Not once, but twice. Every content creator saw that happen in real time, and Kevin Samuels saw it too. Kevin called me after a vague video Tasha K posted where she basically hinted like, yeah, I've got somebody else lined up next. And at that time, Kevin Samuels was doing insane numbers. He was on fire. So when that video dropped, he reached out to me. He told me, listen, man, I don't know if this is before the Joe Budden interview or the Adam 22 interview, but he understood something very clearly. Tasha K had a massive black female audience, and a large portion of that audience did not like what Kevin Samuels was saying or representing. And he said straight up, I have to take this interview. I knew then that he wasn't doing it just because he wanted to. He was genuinely concerned about what would happen if he said no. That's how much influence Tasha K had over certain people at that time. People were literally operating under the mindset of if Tasha K calls, you better show up. This was 2021, 2022, and Kevin did show up. It wasn't an easy interview. He knew that going in, but he handled himself extremely well. And the truth is, Tasha K had all the leverage. She had all the ammunition. She had everything she needed at her disposal. And when she has leverage, I've watched her use it. I've seen her use it on celebrities, I've seen her use it on content creators, and I still see her doing it today. Look at the Will Smith situation. Tasha K breaks a story implying Will Smith was involved with certain men, and suddenly she looks like an unstoppable force. Like either you come sit down with me and do an interview, or I'm gonna decide your narrative for you. So when I see Tasha K now running around saying things like, this isn't fair, or they're trying to silence me, or she's doing this to me, or she shouldn't be talking about the case, it's against the rules, and even framing it as feeling bullied, I have to pause. Because my response is, okay, but what about the bullying you've done to other people? And for the record, I don't dislike anyone in this industry. In 2022, Cardi B won a nearly $4 million civil lawsuit against Tasha K, and that situation really changed the conversation in the industry. The issue started back in 2019, when Tasha K was putting out false and damaging claims about Cardi, including unverified allegations about her personal life. Cardi took it to court, she won, and not long after that, Tasha K filed for bankruptcy. Even with the bankruptcy, the judge still ruled that Tasha K was responsible for paying Cardi B, setting up a long-term payment plan that stretches over several years. Since then, Tasha K has tried to frame the situation as Cardi B attempting to silence her or sabotage her platform, calling Cardi's legal actions unfair, which honestly makes a lot of people raise an eyebrow. Recently, things escalated again when Tasha K made new online claims that seemed to suggest Cardi B could be involved in witness intimidation related to allegations involving Cardi's boyfriend, Stephon Diggs. Even though Cardi B was not named directly, the implication was obvious enough that it pulled her right back into the conversation. Not long after that, things blew up on Twitter Spaces, where Cardi B went on the offensive and addressed the situation head-on. Now, I understand this is business, but one thing you can't deny is that Cardi B showed the industry that you don't have to just sit back and take it when someone spreads lies about you. Tasha K even went as far as posting, "Witness intimidation charges coming soon. You can't contact an alleged victim on behalf of someone being prosecuted allegedly." And this is where the credibility issue really starts to show, because Tasha K is constantly positioning herself as someone who holds everyone accountable, yet she's almost always involved in lawsuits herself. If you're going to come at people with that kind of energy, you also have to be able to take it when the tables turn. When it was time to pay up after losing the case, bankruptcy was filed. There hasn't really been full accountability for how things got to this point. Instead, it feels like there's a pattern of ducking responsibility while still throwing shots, using allegedly, not naming names, but making the message clear enough for everyone to know who's being targeted. That's what hurts Tasha K's credibility the most. When she thinks she has information, she goes all in, firing on all cylinders. But when someone fights back successfully, that same energy disappears. And look, sometimes you lose. It happens. You can't win every battle. Sometimes you just have to say, yeah, I took that L and move on. But instead of accepting the loss, it feels like there's still an attempt to work around the system and keep the drama alive through implication and suggestion. So at this point, I've got to ask, what do y'all think about this situation? Is this accountability, or is this just refusing to accept the loss? It's your boy OD Jackson, back at it again.